Hey, I'm Nancy Cavey, National ERISA and Individual Disability Attorney. Welcome to Winning Isn't Easy. Before we get started, the Florida Bar tells me I have to give you a legal disclaimer. So I'm going to give you that disclaimer. This podcast is not legal advice, but nothing will ever prevent me from giving you an easy to understand overview of the disability insurance world, the games that disability carriers play, and what you need to know to get the disability benefits you deserve. So off we go. Do you have multiple sclerosis? If so, this episode is for you. Now, if you don't have MS, I still think there are some valuable takeaways that you can learn from that may be applicable to your case because disability carriers play the same games, if you will. I've talked about MS before in other episodes, but I want to do another episode because this is just a hot topic. Today, I'm going to talk about three things. Number one, what are the common MS symptoms that disability carriers look for in your medical records? Two, how does stiffness spasticity work or apply, if you will, in your multiple sclerosis claim? And three, what visual issues are important in your MS ERISA disability claim? So let's take a break before we get started.
Have you been robbed of your peace of mind from your disability insurance carrier? You owe it to yourself to get a copy of Robbed of Your Peace of Mind, which provides you with everything you need to know about the long-term disability claim process. Request your free copy of the book at kvlaw.com today.
Welcome back to Winning Isn't Easy. Ready to get started? What are the common MS symptoms that disability carriers look for in your medical records? Disability carriers don't make it easy for those who have MS, particularly in the initial stages of MS or have relapsing remitting MS, to get the disability benefits they deserve. Many disability policies will require that you provide objective evidence of the diagnosis of MS. Now, that's generally easy to provide. However, a diagnosis alone doesn't prove that you're disabled and unable to do the material and substantial duties of your own occupation or any other occupation. So what you need to prove is that your MS symptoms are severe enough to cause the impairment of your ability to do those material and substantial duties of your occupation or any other occupation. What are the symptoms that you should be documenting in your medical records and in a diary or log? Well, I promise you, your disability insurance carrier is going to have your medical records reviewed by their medical staff who may or may not get MS. They may not get the symptoms of MS, and they certainly don't get the impact of those symptoms on your ability to function. Your medical records are the starting point for the disability carrier's analysis. So those records should be telling the story of your symptoms and your functionality. Now, some doctors are great historians, and they take great interval histories of your symptoms and functionalities between visits, while others are not so good. I suggest that you get a copy of your medical records and see what kind of historian your doctor is. Now, you might also want to give your doctor a document that I call a symptoms and functionality sheet. And this would outline what your symptoms are and give examples to the doctor of problems that you have functioning as a result of those symptoms. Better yet, you might want to keep a diary that gives a better picture of the nature, frequency, duration, intensity of your symptoms, whether you have good days, bad days, whether you have days where you have less symptoms, or in fact, where days you may not have any symptoms in a relapsing remitting type situation. You obviously want to keep a copy of this for yourself and your doctor, but before you send it to anybody, you should have your lawyer take a look at it because consistency is key. Your medical records and your diary have to be consistent with what you tell the disability carrier on the activity of daily living forms that you submit and what you may have up on social media. Consistency is the key. So what are the MS symptoms that you should be documenting? Now, this is, I think, a list that you should kind of put in a spreadsheet so that when you're creating a document that explains what the symptoms are, you can specifically address each one of these, not only in terms of the symptoms, but give examples of functionality. So the symptoms that you should be documenting or addressing are bowel problems, breathing problems, cognitive changes, the MS hug, fatigue, gait difficulties, hearing loss, heat sensitivity, impaired swallowing, jarred speech, numbness, optic neuritis, pain, restless legs, seizures, sleep issues, spasticity, tremors, urinary problems, vertigo, dizziness, and weakness. So a nice Excel spreadsheet is very helpful in my view to document these symptoms and the impact that these symptoms have on your functionality. Because remember, you've got the burden of proof, and we don't want the disability insurance carrier to rob you of your financial peace of mind by denying or terminating your claim because there's no objective evidence of the diagnosis and no objective evidence of your restrictions and limitations that prevent you from performing the material and substantial duties of your own occupation or any occupation. Let's take a break.